Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. In this video I'd like to focus only on the more imminent price action, as I covered the different options in the previous video, so by all means take a look at that if you want to have a look at what kind of options are possible. Here for Ethereum we're currently on the 4-hour chart. The downside or the correction that started at $2,030 so far worked out according to plan. You can see how relevant my target was at 1465. That is the target that we talked about when we were up here. I told you that 1465 is the first key support to end the wave 5 to the downside. So in white you can see the wave count here, and that is what I currently think is the most relevant one. There are different options, but for me this is currently working out nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here the wave 5. We always wanted to see one more low, which also happened then. That was the most likely outcome, in my opinion, of this move. Captured here this reversal area very nicely, either for a short trade or just as orientation, and then came down here to the next key support. I mean, this can move down lower, don't get me wrong. It can move down lower. This is just an ideal target level, and I believe that was based on, if I remember correctly, it was based on the length of the wave 1. We can just measure that again. Length of the wave 1, and we add it to the high of the wave 4. So, yeah, here. Yeah, I might not have done it super accurately now, but it also depends on where I... Here, there you go, the low of the wave 1. That takes me to the 1,400, roughly $65 level, yeah? And this has been the 1.618 extension, which is an ideal target for the wave 5 length compared to the wave 1. They have a certain Fibonacci relationship, either the 1-to-1 ratio, but that would have only taken us to 1560, which was also an important level, but we wouldn't have made a lower low. But in wave 5, you ideally want to make a lower low. And the 1.618 extension is the next likely one, yeah? So ideally, this is over now. A recovery is due. It really is due. We also see bullish divergences on the indicators. The 4-hour MACD is already turning to the upside. Now, if this is moving up and then possibly even converting over onto the daily, then this is a good signal. We don't have that bullish crossover though on the on the RSI. We see a bullish divergence, but not a bullish crossover. We want to see that bullish crossover, which would mean the purple line here needs to cross above the yellow line. That would be a bullish signal. So, but again, on indicators, I only really use them for what they are designed to indicate and as support, not in order to give me any sort of major clues. Because let's be honest, if the price now moves up, they will go up. If the price now moves down, the indicators will push down. So they are just supporting a view. So that's why I don't use them too much. Yeah, looking at this then, I told you yesterday that it's still relevant, that we need to get above this 1510 level, yeah, or 1520 rather, that high, that local swing high here. That would at least be the very earliest confirmation, that or indication that indeed we are going up here. Because you can go up so much here, but this could just be a corrective move to the upside. It would make it more likely that this move up is sustainable if we really move above that wave 4 high. So at 1520, that is highly relevant. We want to get above that level. In the next stage, we want to get here to the low of the wave 1. That is at 1625. And then in the next stage, we want to get to this wave 2 high here, which is at 1705. That is really relevant, the wave 2 high, and then I think we can move higher, obviously. But these are the key resistance levels on the way up, in my opinion, yeah. And also the key levels for confirmation that the move up is sustainable. In the next instance here, we've got the 50-day moving average. I know that's the 20, I believe, here on the Ethereum chart for some reason. Yes, 20-day moving average, because the 50, I believe, is somewhere else. The 20-day moving average, which is here at 1750. We can also move it to the 50-day moving average. Let's see where that is at the moment. You can see that that is also going to provide some resistance along the way. That's actually quite relevant. You can see that the 50-day provided support here twice, very clearly, and is probably now going to provide some resistance on the way up. But it is quite close to the wave 1 low here. At the moment, it is at $1,600, but it goes up over time. So this is what I'm looking out for, this key level here. I think a recovery is due. We can count 5 waves as complete to the downside. In the bullish scenario that I covered yesterday as well, we would expect now an impulsive move to the upside. In the corrective, or in the, let's say, rather still bullish, but still short-term, more bearish option, which is my primary expectation here, because in this scenario would move up in a wave B and a wave C down, we would expect a corrective move up. So in any scenario, I think a recovery is due. When exactly it is happening, I can't tell you, but I can tell you that if we go above the wave 4 high, it is very likely that this recovery has started. And a recovery is due because we can count this wave pattern here to the downside, which I believe is a wave A of a wave 2. We can count that as complete. In the next stage, as per this scenario, we should see that reversal to the upside. That should be quite strong. That should, ideally we want to see a wave B in this scenario, which would be subdividing into an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. Depending on what kind of B wave we see, we can then also calculate the further process, because a B wave in itself consists of 3 waves, A, B, C, but there are different variants. There's a flat pattern where the wave A is actually a corrective impulse, or which should move up quite strongly, or there's a zigzag pattern where the wave A is actually a corrective wave within a correction. So this would not be that strong. So we'll see. We talk about that as we get along here, and then we should see in this area ideally. At the moment that might move a bit, depending on if we drop any further. But at the moment, sort of into the region, or in the region between 1820 and 1920, I would expect Ethereum to turn to the downside again, and would then move into what I believe is here the most likely outcome, between $1,125 and $1,325. That is an area where I believe the wave 2 will get into. However, that might move a little bit again, depending on how low the wave 5 goes and how high the wave B goes in the end. And when we have the wave B complete, we can specify that in more detail. At the moment, within the area, I've got specified 2 levels, but I think due to the latest dip, they are not relevant anymore. So it really depends on how low the wave 5 eventually goes and how high the wave B. And then we can calculate the length of the wave C. At the moment, due to the length of the wave A, either the wave B needs to be very high, in order to keep this level, or if the wave B isn't high, we will probably drop a bit lower, because the wave C has a certain relationship with the wave A, and it would normally be the same length as the wave A or a little bit longer. Okay, so that's my update about Ethereum. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.